when my heart was wrapped up in clover. I looked at you. I found a dream that I can speak to. A dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to caress my cheek to. The thrill that I've never known. Yeah, yeah. You smile. Oh, when the spell was cast. Oh, and here we are up in heaven.
Ryan Hunda Criso il Waterford Castle. Is that all right? You understood it? In other words, welcome to the lovely Waterford Castle. Family and friends, may I begin by welcoming you all here today to the marriage of Natalie and Michael. And on their behalf, I would like to extend their gratitude to you all for supporting them and for making their lives as rich as they have been. All of you have contributed and supported them on their journey so far, and by witnessing the marriage ceremony today, Natalie and Michael ask that you share in their future also. Over the last 5 years that they've been together, their love has continued to grow. What began as friendship has turned to love, and will culminate today as they make the declaration before Spirit and us all, and enter into a new phase of their lives together as husband and wife. Michael and Natalie's relationship is therefore not defined by time, but rather defined by the relationship between two people who love each other. A connection which says, I love you with a smile. A connection which acknowledges this is my best friend. A connection which allows the other the freedom to be themselves. And most importantly, a connection which encompasses all the important aspects of a marriage. To quote Natalie directly, I am a dreamer, and Michael keeps me grounded. He is a caring person with a soft side, and he works hard for me and for Sarah. We're a good little team. And to quote Michael, Natalie makes me more relaxed than I normally would be, and helps me not to worry about things. She's a caring person, and she's very nice to me. We could all do a bit of that. So you see, where such a connection exists, what more can be said other than these two people before you share an undeniable devotion to each other, and that love and devotion they will acknowledge today before Spirit and us all. Today also forms the beginning of a new family for Michael and Natalie. I know how important Sarah and indeed both their families are to them, so I pay tribute to both families today on their behalf for their constant support and guidance, and especially for the unconditional love which has nurtured them both and enabled them to be here today to marry the person they love most of all, namely each other. So thank you, both families, and thank you indeed all of you, their friends, who have supported them on their journey, or wish that you will continue to do so, and we are delighted to celebrate this special occasion with us. So, what is marriage? Well, a joyful marriage has never been too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say I love you. It's never going to sleep angry. It's at no time taking the other for granted. Let your courtship not end with the honeymoon period, but continue throughout all the years. Your marriage will be a great journey of joys, surprises and miracles, and above all remember that your love for each other will prevail. But no ceremony can create your marriage. What the ceremony does is bear witness and affirm the choice that you have made to begin a new life today together as husband and wife. But to make this marriage work, however, it will take more than love. It would take trust to know in your hearts that you only want the best for each other. It would take dedication to stay open to one another, to learn to grow even when it is difficult to do so. It would take courage to honour your differences, to make the important things matter and let go of the rest. And it will take faith to go forward together without knowing what the future holds for both of you. So be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Invocation to absent friends and family. Today, remember all the many friends and relatives who for one reason or another could not be present today. We are reminded of the impact that these people have had on our lives, helping us to become who we are. We hope that in remembering and thinking of them here, that they too share in this special occasion with us. So I'm going to invite Natalie and Sarah to come up and light a candle of remembrance. Remember all of those people who could not be here today. You can tell that we're not smokers. Now, speaking of candles, we have a ceremony here that some of you might have experienced before. Lighting a candle actually is a very special thing. In the past, and even in the present actually, lighting a candle meant romance. To us of a certain age, it might have meant an ESB strike. But lighting a candle is very significant because you think of somebody when you're lighting it. If somebody's undergoing an operation, we light a candle. If somebody's doing an exam, we light a candle. If somebody passes away, we light a candle. Candles are very, very important because the energy of it is coming from in here. Michael and Natalie, in the lighting of the unity candle, you are symbolising your lives as individuals and as family. The outer candles here represent your lives up to this moment. They are distinct, bright and shining on their own. However, it's important to acknowledge that in order for you both to have developed into the two fine adults before us, you both had to be nurtured and supported, and you both had to be loved. And that love came first and foremost from your families, your parents, and especially your mothers. So therefore it's highly appropriate that we acknowledge both parents and their love through this ceremony, and also acknowledge the love and support that each family brings to this marriage. So I'd like to invite Kerry and Anne to step forward to be with Michael and Natalie. Kerry, in recognition of the unconditional love, support and guidance you have given to your son Michael throughout his life, and up to this point, could you please light the taper as a symbol of the continuance of that support and also of the light that your family brings to this marriage as Michael moves from you towards Natalie and matrimony. Michael, light your candle, let it be a symbol of the light shining inside his house. How special you are.
It hasn't even gone out.
You can manage all the same, isn't it?
Yeah, at least that's lit. Yeah.
And in recognition of the unconditional love, support and guidance you have given to your daughter Natalie throughout her life, and up to this point, could you please light the taper as a symbol of the continuance of that support and also of the light that your family brings to this marriage as Natalie moves from you towards Michael and matrimony. Natalie, light your candle, let it be a symbol of the light shining inside yourself.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right, no, it's done now.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, it's a bit late now.
Thank you, Anne and Kerry, for participation. Thank you very much.
Footprints in the sand, and help me understand where I'm going. You walk with me when I was all alone, with so holding on along the way that I heard you say. I promise you I'm always there when your heart is filled with sorrow and despair. I'll carry you when you need a rain. You'll find my footprints in the sand. You'll find my footprints in the sand.
The poem of Tree. When Natalie was in Spain on a hen's weekend in the sun, little did she know that she was going to be the one. Michael on a rugby tour, scoring more than tries. When both on a night out, he caught her with his eyes. So when the trip is ended, they both went on their ways. Both flying back and forth, Michael then decided to stay. In Ireland with his one true love, where he was meant to be, the news that then came to both of them, they soon would be three. When baby Sarah came into the world, him and her alone was no more. Their lives changed with this bundle of joy, whom they both loved to the core. They took it all in their stride and wouldn't change a thing. Now here they stand as a family, each of them swaps a ring. They will take each other from this day forth and be known as husband and wife. And later we'll have some dinner and cut the cake with a knife. I know that when this day is over, that the words from me and you will be to wish them very well and all the happiness that can be.
Wasn't that fantastic? You might write a few more before the day is out. Now, could I invite Anthony and Pauline to come up, and they're going to read another poem. Again, these have been chosen for their sentiment and meaning and fun as well.
This time. He never leaves the seat up or wet towels upon the floor. The toothpaste has its lid on and he always shuts the door.
She's very clean and tidy, though sometimes may delude. Leave your things out at your peril. In a second they'll have moved.
He's a very active person, as are all of his kin too. Where she likes lazy days, he still drags her to the gym. He romances her and dines her, home-cooked dinners and the like. He even knows her favourite food and spoils her day and night.
She's thoughtful when she looks at her, a smile upon his face. Will he look that good in 50 years? His dentures aren't in place.
He says he loves her figure and her mental powers too. But when gravity takes her over, will her IQ still charm you?
She says she loves his kindness and his patience is a must. And of course, she thinks he's handsome, which in her eyes is a plus.
They're both not wholly perfect, but who are we to judge? He can be pig-headed, but she won't even budge.
All that said and done, they love the time they spend together. And I hope, as I'm sure you do, that this fine day will last forever.
He'll be more than just her husband. He'll also be her best friend. And she'll be more than just his wife. She'll be his soulmate till the end.
In the waters where we go and tell us to be wise in times when we don't know. But let this be our prayer. When will this our way? Lead us to a place and guide us with your grace to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find your light
puro resterà
and hold it in our heart.
a ricordarci che
When stars go on each
la
night,
tua stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede c'è
When shadows fill our days
lead us to a place
and guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be saved. Sognare un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno di là so vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità.
la forza che ci dai
We ask that life be kind
del desiderio che
and to watch us from above.
ognuno troverà.
We hope each soul will
Il
find
tono è dentro e sei
another soul to love. Let this be our prayer. Oh, let this be our prayer.
just like every child.
Just like every child needs to find a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be saved. Nella fede che hai sogno.
Sento
che chi salve,
That's granddad.
At some point you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes. Indeed, you have been making commitments in an informal way. All of those conversations that were held in the car, over a meal or during long walks, all of those conversations that began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, you will, and we will. All of those late nights that included the someday and somehow and maybe conversations. All of those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all of those things that we promised and hoped and dreamed. Well, I meant it, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another: acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, even teacher. For you have learned much from one another over the past couple of years. Shortly, you shall say a few words that will take you across the threshold of life, and things between you will never quite be the same. For after today, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, and this is my wife. Do you, Michael, hereby state that you have read and understood the list of civil impediments to marriage? And do you solemnly declare that you believe there is no impediment of kindred or affinity or other lawful hindrance to proposed marriage with Natalie?
Yes. I didn't know that was the end.
I was going to answer in Welsh.
Yes.
We'll take the English. Do you, Natalie, hereby state that you have read and understood the list of civil impediments to marriage, and you solemnly declare that you believe there is no impediment of kindred or affinity or other lawful hindrance to propose marriage with Michael?
I do.
It is now that I, Tom Farr, in accordance with the rights of the Spirituous Union of Ireland, do solemnise this your marriage according to the laws of this country and the laws of spirit. Before you, Michael and Natalie, are joined together in the presence of spirit, my presence, and the presence of these witnesses, I am bound, as you know, to publicly remind you of the solemn, the serious, and the binding nature of the relationship into which you're now about to enter. Marriage, as most of us understand, is the voluntary and full commitment of two people to each other. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others, and entered into with the hope and the desire and the firm intention that it will last a lifetime. Michael, do you take Natalie in marriage to be your wedded wife, to share your life as your friend, your lover, your companion, to go together in spirit and in truth, and forsaking all others?
I do.
And do you, Natalie, take Michael in marriage to be your wedded husband, to share your life as your friend, your lover, your companion, to go together in spirit and in truth, and forsaking all others?
I do.
Wedding bands being a perfect circle of no beginning and no end. You're still there.
Making sure he isn't gone.
You still have the rings.
They'd be
All
sold
right.
by now.
Get nervous. But we all know that these rings do have a beginning. Rocks is a go from the earth, and metal is liquefied in a furnace at 1,000 degrees. Hot metal is poured into a mould, cooled, and painstakingly polished. Something beautiful is made from raw elements. And love is like that. It has to be worked. It's the process of making something beautiful where once there was nothing at all, and they're now ready to give and receive that symbolism of love. So James, have we got the rings ready? Thank you, James. These rings will forever show the world that you are one, and carry with the love and blessings and eternal love of your families and all here present.
Yeah, see?
No, not on all the way.
No, just in the end. Right.
Natalie, with this ring,
Natalie with this ring. Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
That's Natalie
Right,
over
Natalie
there,
with
right?
this ring. Sorry, I didn't know if I was meant to say it then or was going to say it then. Right, Natalie with this ring.
I wed thee,
I wed thee.
wear it as a sign of my love.
Where is the sign of my love? Oh, right. It won't go on.
It's his first time, isn't it?
It'll be the last time as well. I'm going through this again.
But it's true, love, anyway. The last time. You show him how it's done,
This one,
Natalie.
how is it? Yeah, that's left.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, with this ring I wed thee,
Michael, with this ring I wed thee.
wear it as a sign of my love.
Wear it as a sign of my love.
I'm going.
Now, could I have Ryan, Sam, Linda, and Nan to come up, please? So you might think hands are common, but actually they're not. There's marks on your hand that mark you out as an individual. Your fingertips, the centre of your hands. But the way you use your hands is what really marks you out as who you are. Hands can do so much wonderful things. When somebody's in trouble, we give them a hand out or a hand up. When we meet somebody, we offer them the open hand of friendship, which is the international symbol of peace, placing our trust in somebody's hands. Hands are very important, and in this ceremony, tradition is also part of it too. Now we're using 4 ribbons in this ceremony representing the elements of earth, wind, fire and water. Today, Michael and Natalie have decided to partake in an ancient Celtic tradition. Its basis in medieval times was intended to bind the couples together until the marriage was consummated. Now, luckily we've moved on a bit since then, but it's from that we get the expression, the tying of the knot. I'm sure you're familiar with that term. Today, although we will not be physically binding Michael and Natalie's hands, we will recognise the importance of this ceremony as it symbolises the dedication that Michael and Natalie have for each other and for their families. It acknowledges the devotion to the joining of hands and cements their future as a united entity, symbolising their unity to eternity and the nature of their love. So I now invite you, Michael and Natalie, to view the hands of each other as a gift, as an expression that your hearts are joined together in love. These are the hands of your best friend, full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other.
I knew it'd be you. Who'd have to put in there?
These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help hold your family as one. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. Our prayer for you today is that both of you use these hands to build a marriage where all your dreams come true.
Cheers.
Your wedding day is one that seems to fly. It's a day filled with emotion, friends, rings and dances. Many people remember how fleeting their own wedding day was. So I want you to take a few seconds to look into each other's eyes. Think about the happiness you're feeling in this place, in this moment. Really let that feeling register in your heart and in your minds. We all know your vision for the future are not identical, but always complementary. John Lennon once said, "A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together, that's reality." And that reality starts now. Michael and Natalie have declared before us that they will live together in marriage. They have made special promises to each other. They have symbolised it by joining hands, taking vows and exchanging rings. So therefore, on your behalf and on behalf of the community and the Sight of Spirit, I now declare them to be husband and wife. So great pleasure in presenting to you Michael and Natalie as husband and wife. Michael, you may kiss your bride.
I hope so, because I'm sweating. Okay. We sit back down now.
Michael and Natalie, your gift to each other for your wedding day has been your wedding rings, which will always be an outward demonstration of your vows of love and respect, and a public showing of your commitment to each other. Now you have what remains the most honourable title which may exist between a man and a woman, the title of husband and wife. For your first gift as a husband and wife, that gift will be a single rose. And I'd like to invite Lucas and Dara to bring up the roses, please.
A tender ring. Some say love is a razor that leads your soul to bleed, and some say love it is a hunger and endless aching.
Love. And a single rose always meant only one thing. It meant the words, "I love you." So it's appropriate for your first gift as a husband and wife that gift should be a single rose. So please exchange your gift as husband and wife.
Thank you.
Now, in some ways, it seems like you've not done anything at all. A moment ago, you were holding a single rose, and now you're still holding a single rose. In some ways, marriage is like that. In some ways, tomorrow is going to seem no different from today or yesterday. But in fact, today, just now, you've both given and received one of the most valuable and precious gifts of life, one I hope you'll always remember, the gift of true and unabiding love within the devotion of marriage. Michael and Natalie, I would ask you that wherever you make your home, whether it be a large and elegant one or a small and graceful one, that you pick one very special location for roses, so that on each anniversary of this truly memorable occasion, you both take a rose to that spot as a recommitment to your marriage and a recommitment that this will be a marriage based upon love.
And it's the dream of a red only king that never takes the chance. And it's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give in the soul, afraid of dying.
Difficult to say by times, I am sorry, or I forgive you, I need you, or I'm hurting. If that should happen and you simply cannot find the words, leave a rose on the spot that you have chosen. For that rose says what matters most, that love should overpower all things, even words. That rose says, I still love you. And the other should accept this rose for the words which cannot be found. And remember the love and hope that you both share today. Michael and Natalie, if there's anything that you remember about this marriage ceremony, is that love brought you both here today, and it's only love that can make it a glorious union. And it is by love that your marriage shall endure.
When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, oh, just remember in the winter, far beneath the snow, lies a seed that with the songs of love in the spring becomes the rose.
Now, Michael and Natalie, I'd like you to remember when it was first in your relationship that you realised you were truly in love and wanted to spend the rest of your lives together. And holding that thought, I'm going to invite you to pick up the tapers and light them from the individual candles. With these candles, we see how to achieve a beautiful marriage. Bring these lights, the symbols of yourselves, closer and closer to each other until they form one great torch of light, a radiant symbol of love, joy, peace and harmony. It's vitally important to remember there's always really two in a marriage, each with his or her own desires, yearnings, dreams and wishes. And they must be respected and responded to with great love, great compassion and a genuine tenderness. We know it's the prayer of your beloved, as the prayer of each of us here, that you will continuously light these candles of love, so there will always be light and joy, peace and harmony in your hearts and in your home. Now, we're going to do the sand ceremony. Now, could I invite Katie? Today, Michael, Natalie and Saren wish to participate in the sand ceremony. It indicates the joining of their lives, their hearts and their souls. These vessels of sands of various colours symbolize your individual spirits and that of your families. Each container is unique, representing who you are. As these containers of sand are poured into a larger container, the different colours will form together something quite beautiful. Michael and Natalie, I would invite you now to pick up your individual containers of sand and hold them close to your heart. They represent the essence of all that you are and all that you bring to this union. As you do so, embody the grains with all your hopes and dreams for the future. Bring to mind the strength of your promises, the honesty and integrity with which you make them, and all the particles of personality that make you unique and wonderful in one another's eyes. Within a marriage, each person is both their own and each other's. Two individuals choosing to create new life with endless possibilities and new dreams that are theirs together. So if you pour in half the sand, make sure they can mingle into one. The sand is to represent the foundation of your love, which is to support and nurture your marriage and your family. Now Saren and Natalie are going to pour Saren sand. This container of white sand, Saren, represents you and your importance. Like the colours of the rainbow, we're all different and special, valuable and precious. So therefore, it's only fitting that you be shown as an important part of this marriage. Because after all, marriage is really about family.
Hey, do you want to pour the three of them in together? Yeah, okay, maybe Tom will have to jump back on again. We can all do it together, okay? Together. Are you ready? Ready. And go.
There is nothing more important nor more sacred than the bond you share as husband and wife and family. Now, Sarah, do you see where you are? Right in the middle of your parents' lives. You are the centre of your parents' hearts now and forever. Just as these grains of sand can never be separated. Our prayer for you is that your lives together will take longer than the time it takes to separate these individual grains of sand. You are united today, not only in marriage, but as family. So could I now invite Charlie?
That I think Lord, makes no sense to me. I know you'll never love the sound of your voice on tape. You'll never want to know how much you weigh. You still have to squeeze into your jeans, but you're perfect to me. And I won't let these little things slip out of my mouth. But if it's true, it's you, oh it's you they get up to. I'm in love with you. And all these little things. But I won't let these little things slip out of my mouth. But if I do, it's true. Oh, it's you they get up to. I'm in love with you and all your little things.
You're also in for a treat later on. If you like Frank Sinatra and Michael Bublé, there's somebody even better.
Oh, I
Sean
wouldn't say
Bowman,
that.
very
Oh, there's
special.
no need for that. It's a bit harsh.
No, you're not expected to compete with them. I'd like to thank all of you who have participated in this ceremony by witnessing and sharing and supporting Natalie and Michael in their lives. But most of all, I'd like to thank both of you for being the inspiration that you are, for having the courage to stand up and say that you love each other in front of those who have journeyed with you, in some cases all of your lives. So it's a great privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now, if you just turn around, face this way. Spirit of love and life, out of this world two souls have found each other. Their destiny shall now be woven into one design, and their joy shall not be known apart. Michael and Natalie, may the home that you share with Seren and Buddy be a place of happiness for all who enter it. A place where the old and the young are renewed in each other's company. A place for growing. A place of sharing. A place of love. May those who are nearest you be constantly enriched by the beauty and bounty of your love for one another. May your work be a joy or life that serves the world. And may your days be good and long upon this earth. So, ladies and gentlemen, could you please be upstanding while I present to you Michael and Natalie. Mr. and Mrs. Granger.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Are we all walking down? Oh, it's done.
Fucking worse than you. I'm fucking proud of you. Oh, God.
We're going outside.
I don't know where we're going. We're stuck in you. Oh, yeah. Jesus, I'm going to stand on your dress.